Welcome to Nathan's Mailbag. Diving straight in, Curtis. First question here. You're going to love this. I think everyone's going to love this question because this is great. This is such a good question. Because obviously I sift through the questions, right? And when I saw this, I'm like, I cannot wait for this week's episode. So I've hyped it up. Let's take a look, all right? Low Elo Tournaments destroy player mindset. Hello guys, I've recently joined a public Discord, over 80,000 members, because me and my friends were looking for a top laner for Clash. Then I noticed a channel where people can post/search for teams and open positions for tournaments like a Prime League circuit. When I clicked on this channel, I was shocked. And the more I read the posts in this channel, the more perplexed I became. The following is the most recent post, for example. ADC looking for team in silver.
You can't even finish
About me. Here we go. About me. 20 years old. ADC main with a huge champion pool. Currently silver 3, but peaked gold 4, exclamation mark. Good at communicating. Great macro play. Average mechanics, depends on the champ. Great willingness to learn and improve, and will always recognize mistakes. Flexible in terms of free time for scrims.
Hey, well, you've got to be careful here, Nathan.
What?
Because this can get interpreted a very wrong way.
Okay, we got to be careful here.
And even me, I'm scared. I'm going to get cancelled here.
We're going to get cancelled.
We're going to get cancelled. We're going to get hate. So we're going to be careful here.
I mean, this is comedic to me, Curtis, all right? And I think this is comedic to this person. He was shocked, but this is comedic, all right? Here we go. What I'm looking for, a lot of scrimming, positive team environment, no flaming, unconditional willingness to improve from my team that already exists with a current tournament slot. So that's his little biography, Curtis. I will keep reading the question. Any comments so far, Curtis?
Yeah.
I think a lot of our viewers, listeners, they're also laughing with us right now, Curtis. If you're a long-term BBC listener, you're going to get it, yeah? We'll have to get into details why, I think, for the newer BBCers. There are hundreds of posts like this per day. Sometimes they even add an age requirement, for example, 25 plus. This all seems to me like a big excuse of not playing solo queue or wanting to be in a permanent safe space. Normally, I wouldn't care and let Reddit users be Reddit users, but some of the posts have an air of arrogance about them that is just too obnoxious. These silver gold players are convinced that they are being held back by their team. They believe most of their losses are caused by trolls/inferior players on their team. What do they actually mean when they say willingness to improve? To me, they just want a team that can, for example, compensate for their lack of map awareness and then say, hey, next time you should ping, or next time you should communicate to me. If you want to improve, just play solo queue, in my opinion. What is a team of silver players that have perfect communication, scrim with 100% intensity every day going to do against a random solo queue match-made team with Diamond MMR? Sorry for the lengthy email, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, of teams of 5+ players in this channel, meaning there are up to 50,000 total players all live in this same delusion. I would love your thoughts on this, Orca.
Okay. There's a lot to break down here, Nathan.
So the biggest thing that stands out to me, I mean, I played in a team school, yeah? Mm-hmm. The problem with it is when you're using it to fuel these narratives. The biggest one here is, that they believe, they're convinced that they're being held back by their teammates, because that's not only what they believe, they're spreading that to their friends, they're spreading to the wider community. Once one person tells one person, that person's like, oh yeah, that's great. I agree with that. I can look at all the mistakes of my teammates plays, This is destroying the community, Curtis. This sort of stuff absolutely needs to be called out, Curtis. This Discord needs to be shut down, dude. What do you think, Curtis? Or is that too far? Am I going to get cancelled? Because this angers me.
This whole time I've really been trying to figure out like an analogy or a comparison in the real world. I'm really trying here.
Analogy would be good.
The only thing that springs to mind, look, like my problem with this, I think that I think there's some positives, potential positives, right? Community aspect of things, I guess.
All right, it shouldn't be shut down. There needs to be.
Let's start with the potential positives.
Okay.
Let's be a little bit delusional here.
Okay.
As if we were to like envision, if this were to be done correctly with a great mindset that we'll talk about in a second.
That's right.
You know, it could be a great community building, camaraderie thing that helps people. It's just a hobby, a great little hobby. Maybe
share their passion with
other, build some friends. There are some positives here, right? But it needs to be viewed like that.
That's right.
Like it needs to be viewed as if you're going down to a local basketball court and you're trying to play a game of pickup basketball. Now, when you're playing pickup basketball, there is no. You're not really there to improve your teamwork, are you? It's kind of like
your skill level is your skill level.
Yeah, you're playing with a bunch of mates. And we're all here to kind of show what we can do. There's going to be
We've been practicing on our own.
Yeah.
Which is meant to be the solo kill, like doing, 3-pointer shots and.
Yeah. And we kind of see, it's kind of like as well when I used to play basketball with friends from high school, like it was kind of like a bit of fun. It's like, you could tell that there were people within that team that took it maybe more seriously than I did. And they would play on an actual team for like a local, our local suburb. And maybe an A grade or whatever it might be, and they practice outside of school and they would dominate and they'll do really well. But then there's shit kickers like me that just literally have a laugh. I mean, I was tiny on the court, but I just it was just fun, Yeah. I was with my mates. I'm just
having a crack.
I remember my first mate when I played basketball. This is a true story. We do a whole season, right? However many games there are, I can't remember. It goes for weeks and weeks and weeks, months, right? And on my very first game of basketball ever, because I didn't play basketball at school really. I'd never played basketball before. I shot a 3-pointer on my first game and I didn't shoot a single point for the whole season. First game, I got a 3-pointer. Not even exaggerating. I didn't get a single basket.
Yeah.
A single point.
Yeah.
For the entire season.
And how many games would that been?
I mean, it's like a year, dude. It's like it's
a lot of
not
games.
a single point.
Yeah.
I had probably, I would say, at least 100 open opportunities, and I didn't get the basket in. I didn't get a single basket. I had open layups. That's how bad I was.
Yeah.
But it was just fun, right?
Yeah.
But I approached it like that. I didn't come in with a mentality that like
we're gonna be a team together. We're gonna be the best team, and the teamwork's gonna be insane.
No, we're all dog shit, and there's some people that are gonna carry me here, and I'm aware of that. But it's a fun thing. It's like friendships, and I think that like if people viewed it like that, like I'm not here genuinely to get better at basketball. That's not my intention.
No.
If I wanted to get better at basketball, I'm going to go and drill. I'm going to go to the court after school and I'm going to shoot hoops, or I'm going to go to my local league, get a coach and like do it properly. I'm going to do drills. I'm going to condition myself. I'm not going to pass out halfway through the game because I'm so unfit. I'm not going to, I
went home and just played computer games.
I can't even hit a free throw shot,
Yeah.
I barely had the strength to even throw a 3-point shot. I had to like use my whole body to throw a 3-point shot. That's how weak I was.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point being, I came in with the mentality of that it's fun and games.
Yeah.
And that's what these need to be. It's like little league baseball, like little kiddies in the park playing with their dad bringing them down, playing a little local league. They're not trying to get better. It's just a camaraderie thing. And that's the reality of what it is. That's the way it needs to be treated. This is not any serious.
Do you think that the thing like this sort of about me? It's sort of you're taking yourself too seriously.
It's way too seriously, dude. It's like me going to that team, with basketball team, saying, "Guys, this is about me. I've never played basketball before.
I have great leadership skills.
But, I'll communicate great, and I'll make sure I play for the team." But it's like, dude, just spend an hour to learn how to properly like get the tech. No one even taught me how to throw a basketball. Yeah. Straight up. Like if someone had like sat me down and showed, like what's the technique to throw a shot? Yeah. Like I'd probably get something in, but I didn't do that. I mean, they thought I didn't care. I didn't care. That was the thing. That's why I was that bad, because I didn't care. Yeah. These people here, most of them that they're in silver and bronze or low gold, they don't genuinely care about getting better at the game. Or they're delusional. They think they are, but they're not.
Yeah, well, again, they think that this...
And I think this is what's going to make them better.
That's right.
And that's the dangerous thing. And that's why, my instinct is that I can laugh, and because it's so ridiculous in my mind, but I can see where they're coming from. So this entire thing is just being misinterpreted. It's essentially...
solo queue is where you're going to practice, and if you play these teammates, this is just you displaying your level of skill.
Yeah, all you're doing here, all right, that's spot on. We've got the dojo of solo queue. That's where you're going to get better.
Which is the most important thing.
And so let's say we got this silver 80 carry. His skill is that of a silver player. And now he's going out there to express to the world what he knows. But in the grand scheme of things, you're in silver. So we're talking about, we're literally basically at the bottom of the barrel. So you can either stay here at the bottom of the barrel and you're happy with that, and that's okay.
You're a beginner.
Again, I don't want to judge. If you want to be at the bottom of the barrel and you want to, that's where you want to stay and you want to have fun at the bottom of the barrel, then that's okay. But to take it seriously, it's kind of just a meme. It's embarrassing. It's like,
it's the expectation, because think about it, if this person puts out this post, this team's recruited. Think about how toxic that team environment would be in terms of expectations as well.
I don't really get how there even is a recruitment. Like, it should just be pick up basketball. Like you. Let's just get you all just like a lottery, and like, or whatever it is. I'm sure there's a healthier way of doing it. It should just be completely random, essentially. Like, let's just pick anyone. Because that's what it should be. I mean, everyone's in that same elo, so it doesn't matter. Let's just
I think there's a cool element of choosing people and getting to know and playing with the same players over and over again. I think there's
from a friendship perspective, you want to be friends with.
Sure.
Okay,
100%, dude.
Okay,
you wouldn't want to play pick up basketball with a bunch of random people.
I mean, again, it depends what you want to get out of it. I guess. Yeah.
I think the playing with random people, that's more advanced, dude.
So yeah, I think that and the other thing that really it kind of annoys me is that like it's not annoying. It's not the right word. It's just what we need to educate is that there is zero teamwork.
That's right. Even if
there is zero. I'm talking zero. And actually to mention here, everyone's playing worse. So the people that didn't communicate the team that didn't communicate would probably play better than the team that did communicate.
That's right.
Which will blow people's mind, but that's probably what would happen.
Because everyone's compensating for each other, not playing for themselves and doing their own job.
Their mental sacks are overwhelmed. Imagine you're a mid laner, and we've heard comms in these lower elo tournaments and people. It's crazy. It's chaotic, right? Baron, we should Baron, do this. But you got all these people making calls. You're a mid laner, and you're like, well, my top's saying that, my jungle's saying that, my AD carry's saying that. Or everyone's saying everything. You can't even just do your job. You can't even do your job.
So think about it from a jungler's perspective, Curtis. Come on.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what it would be like. It'd be unbelievable. It'd be so overwhelming.
It's you're not even playing the game. You're just like a moving chess piece.
Yeah. So the last thing I'll say about this, I'm going to kind of, again, use a basketball analogy. I say this in mid, where if I'm a Lux player and we're in silver here, before I worry about a dragon call or a roam or a Baron call or whatever these calls or communication might be, are you warding? Do you know how to hit a skill shot? Like dead set. Like, if you don't know how to hit your Lux E, a dragon doesn't matter. Like just really put that in perspective. If we don't know how to hit our abilities, or we don't know how to ward properly, why are we thinking about a dragon or a team fight? It's mind-boggling. Think about the damage. I even think about this. It's like, we can think about like a team fight, right? But and like all these skirmishes and 2v2s and 3v3s. But if you've missed your first 3 Luxies in lane, I mean, it's end of review. I mean,
you're not playing League of Legends.
We're not playing League anymore. Yeah. We're actually not playing League.
We're just going to just throw ourselves at each other and see who wins.
Yeah. So it's and tying this to basketball, I can be the nicest teammate and pass around the ball or whatever. But if I have an open shot and I can't even hit an open shot, I can't even hit an open layup. I'm not playing basketball. They're not playing the game.
You're just there to be there. Just have fun.
I'm just there. It's just basically it's running class.
Yeah.
Up and down the court.
Yeah.
So it's no point. Does it mean I didn't have fun? No, I had a blast. I loved it. Yeah. I love getting rejected all the time by all these people that are 6 foot. I'm just, slamming the ball out of my hands 24/7 and getting laughed at every week. I love that. Yeah. But I just want to put it in perspective here. I think that's the key here. It's about perspective.
That's right.
So sign up.
Setting expectations.
Spot on. As long as they know what they're getting themselves into, then that's on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think we can, and this is I think this is very deeply ingrained.
Yeah, 80,000 people in the server.
It's out of control, Nathan.
It's out of control.
We're never going to change this. I don't think ever.
No.
It will League will die before it changes, probably. I don't think, how can it change?
Well, we did say 20, 30 years in the episode.
Yeah, but that's just impacting the top of the ladder in a way. Like impacting the bottom of the ladder is even harder, I would say, because there's so many.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's scary.
It's scary. I had no idea that this even existed.
And I imagine how as well the narratives, like imagine, because like they're like I can see where he's coming from. Imagine you got Jim Bob 69, silver player, and a silver 80 carry, thinking that he is better than he is, like his rank isn't representative of his skill.
That's right.
And then you've got, you know, another guy in there saying the same thing. They're feeding off each other. So it's that times 80,000. So even if there's a few people in there that have maybe from the Soul Tour or whatever that come in and say something, they have no merit and they're not going to get listened to. So it's not going to change, you know? It has to come from a way above, like an elite, so like the top of the role models, essentially, all of them.
All right.
Does that kind of cover our stance? Again, I think this is not about them. It's not about the competitive aspect, really. We like that, you know, if they want to play for fun with their friends. It's not about that. It's about the expectations.
And the potential dangerous narratives from that.
That's correct.
Next one is from Cam. Title of this email is, how much does ping matter? Greetings, blokes by concept. It's a new one. We haven't heard that one before.
Blokes by concept.
Very creative.
Is he an Aussie?
Maybe. His name's Cam.
He said bloke. Is that an Aussie term?
Aussie
it is,
bloke?
right? Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe.
Sheila and a bloke.
I was watching a recent coaching video on Curtis's MLA channel where the student lived in Israel and had about 85 ping, and Curtis asked if this was normal, stating that it was quite high. I live in a major city in Canada and have an average of 150 ping. A friend of mine recently moved and quit playing ranks because he now has a similar ping to mine. I definitely noticed some spikes in lag when I or my opponents cast abilities, but still find the game to be quite playable. Recently, I traveled to the far north for some research, and although my hotel had Wi-Fi, my ping was over 700. I had a crack, but found the game was to be generally unplayable at 700 ping. How important would you say that ping is, and do you think that it varies with rank, role, and the champions you play? I think that being a Swain main and low elo probably mitigates some of the issues, while Curtis' client was playing Akali in Platinum, which may be significantly more challenging. Cheers, blokes. Cam.
Yeah, it matters. It definitely matters. I would say, but
There's
I would
a threshold, right?
Well, I would say if you've played on that ping the entire time, it doesn't matter really.
Yeah. It's like us in OS playing on NA, dude.
We should play on NA servers, right? We were playing 170, 180 ping, or something like.
I think it was like 130, 140.
Really?
Yeah, it changed.
No,
They moved the
I don't
servers.
think so.
Was it higher?
It was 180.
Was it 180?
Lowest, it was like 170.
Yeah, 170. That was the lowest.
Is it really?
It was really high, dude.
Dude, I was having a blast.
But it felt different. It didn't. It's
did.
170 ping then. OS didn't feel like 170 ping now because they changed.
Yeah, they changed
did
something. Is that true
But
as
anyway,
something happened there.
Anyway, if you sat on that ping,
I felt like 100 ping or 110.
Nathan, you don't know what it feels like because you've
right,
only
I
gone
guess
from
so.
one into the
All
other.
right,
There is
never
no.
mind.
It's all in your mind.
Okay.
The
Do we play it on that for how long? 3 years? You played for 3 years.
I played for 3 years. Yeah.
I only played on it for like a year and a half.
So when I played on NA at that ping 170, I didn't know any better.
Yeah, we never knew any better.
It didn't matter. So if you switch though, if you move countries and that guy, that his friend that moved from
you'll tell the difference and you'll be used
that
to
would
it.
be very difficult.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be able to play on one. If I now play on, I think 20.
Yeah.
If I were to move to Canada or whatever his place is and play on 150, I don't think I would ever adjust to it because I've played on this ping for what's that? Nearly 9 years. I don't think it would be, I'd be so demotivated. It wouldn't be possible for me. I mean, I don't know theoretically, yes, but it would require an immense amount of willpower. So I would say that for him, no. But yes, it does matter at a certain point and the threshold. So it does get complicated, right, Nathan? So if you're playing on 150 ping, you're severely disadvantaged, especially when you're getting through to D2 plus, I would say.
Yeah.
But I would say that as well, it depends on the champ you play as well. I think like that matters a lot. Anything else to add?
You mentioned the student had 85 ping. You asked if it was normal. That's fine, isn't it? Why'd you ask that?
I mean, because it just looked shocking to me.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, it looked really hard to play.
Oh, okay.
Because especially when you're playing a Carly, I mean, you've got to do the RE combo where you're like RE and do the insta-E. It's like every millisecond matters because they can flash it and they can use their gap closer. Like, it just matters.
Got it.
I
So
mean,
you're
but
really
I
into
didn't
the
go
details.
on about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just saw it and I'm shocked. I'm like,
I
this looks, I was like curious. I'm like, is this normal
comment.
or are you just
Yeah.
lagging or is like, this is like your stable ping?
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just like, we're just lucky that we have
You're just an entitled OS 20 ping
we
player,
have
Curtis.
low ping. But yes, I would say it definitely matters to a certain degree, depending on your champ and what rank you're trying to get.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he asked. He asked, does it
Yeah.
matter the champ? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
if I was
if you're playing
playing-
Nathan's Udia and
Yeah.
running around people.
Even Rek'Sai would be pretty fun to play. Nunu, super easy to play.
Yeah, it depends on your champ
Doesn't make
massively.
things-
But if you're
yeah,
playing
don't have
like
champ-
if you're playing like Yone and Yasuo or Akali,
combo reliant champions,
it
I
would
guess.
be LeBlanc. It'd be very difficult.
Yeah. Difficult past like, what's the threshold?
I'd say-
70 ping, 80 ping?
Probably.
Doesn't NA standard they play on that ping? Don't they?
I don't
do
know
that?
what NA play
they
on.
do, don't they, Charlie?
America's a big place.
It is a big place. Depends where you are.
But if you're on LA, where all the all the pros complain about the ping,
Like 50.
50 is it?
is it 50?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what. To be honest, I'm not an expert on lag, so I don't know what the threshold is. All I'm saying is that 80 ping didn't look nice.
All right, moving on here. The next one is from Tyler. Title of this email is Too Much Intensity. Hey guys, love the show. Been watching since day one. LMAO. That must be like a, God damn it, dude. How have I been listening to these two bozos since then? So he's like, LMAO. I actually found Coach Curtis right before BBC began, and now I'm a D2 picked jungler that follows Nathan almost religiously. My question is how to deal. I always love it when I get some love of the. It's always people writing in from MLA in the mailbag. My question is how to deal with too much intensity. I feel like sometimes I go into a game with too much intensity, and especially when something goes well early, say a level 3 dive or whatever it is, I notice that my intensity will increase even more, and if one thing goes wrong, it can actually tilt me even if we're in a good spot.
Is that it?
That's it.
So you're saying that when he's really intense,
Yeah, he sounds like he's more inclined to tilt more.
right?
I feel like that's not what intensity means to us.
I think he is conflating a few things here. So
Yeah.
intense. Well, I mean, let's talk about this. I'm sure there is an element of just amount you care.
That's
about-
it. That's the one.
Because
yeah.
caring, the amount you care is obviously directly connected with how much intensity your energy you're putting in, focus, right? Because you're not going to be incentivized to put in a lot of energy if you don't give a shit.
That's right.
So I think this is more of a problem with his maybe potentially expectations. I think
Yes,
that's what it
that's
really
right.
is.
That's
I think
what I
that's
think
the
it
kind of the
is.
core
Yeah.
thing. He's thinking if I put in all this intensity and I
should
still
get this
make
result.
mistakes,
Yeah, I should get the result. Good
or
result.
no, it could even be he's got that thing where he's played with low intensity for such a long time that he has the expectation, he has an unrealistic
Yes.
expectation of what he's capable of
Now
because
my
he's
intensity,
trying.
it should be. I listen to the podcast. I'm executing high intensity. I should just be.
People automatically assume that, like, I'm going to tie back to Daniel, where Daniel, the guy from the MLA, we've mentioned him many times. I asked him, in your mind, what is like your expectation of like, he's like, I want to play Perfect League of Legends. I'm like, okay, what does Perfect League of Legends look like? And he, reels off all these things. Like, I should be able to do this. It's like perfect jungle tracking, like ticking all these things. And I'm like, dude, if you were doing this even one in every 5 games, you'd be diamond by now, by
That's
far.
right. Yes.
And he's like, oh, yeah, right. That's silly. But like sometimes you got to give people a reality check. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're not even remotely close to being able to play a perfect game. Let's just manage your expectations. You're a Plat 4 player, Gold 1. He was playing Gold 2 at the time, whatever it might be. This guy's in Diamond 2. He's probably comparing himself, like he's got to like visualizing what this. Now he's playing high intensity. That means zero mechanical mistakes, flawless jungle tracking, perfect execution of skirmishes.
Great resets.
Perfect resets, efficient jungle clears, never missing a gank.
Set up objectives correctly.
Like, dude, again, if you are playing like this, you'd be teaching Nathan, right? So let's just manage your expectations. Now, again, this doesn't mean demoralize yourself and say, oh, yeah, I'm a worthless piece of shit and I can't do any of that. It's like, well, it's a scale. It's like, okay, we're going to incrementally get more consistent.
Accepting where you are, your skill level.
Accepting where you're at, man. Nathan talks about this all the time.
I do. So, like, let's say, again, you're playing with low intensity for a long time. Now you're creating a standard of like, okay, this is me playing with high intensity. And again, it's not.
It's
hard to do all
an
the time.
ego defense mechanism. I had this myself.
Yeah.
Remember back in Direwolves days, Nathan, my default response was I didn't want to give it my all because then I have that excuse
when you're.
Oh yeah, I didn't give it my all. I wasn't playing my solo
I could have won that game if I
could have won that. I would have been a
hard.
champion if I wanted to be a champion. I could have been rank 1 if I wanted to be rank 1.
Yeah.
You know,
It's very
I've got that
committed.
narrative in mind, like, and because I don't want to expose myself. If I give it my all
And you still lose.
and I still lose,
Then you're like, oh, now I've got to do some deep work here.
now
oh,
at that time,
oh.
especially since I only believed in talent, I would have had to come to the conclusion that, oh, I'm actually not talented.
And I need to figure out how to get better.
And I need to get better. But
Which
that's,
is-
in my
and you
mind,
have
that
no
wasn't
idea.
possible, right?
Yeah.
Because I had that fixed mindset. So
Yeah.
for him, he's probably now getting rest. He's coming to a point in his journey where he needs to come to terms with where he's at and accept.
Set realistic expectations, just like for Daniel.
That's correct. He needs to do some reflection.
All right, next question here is from Salman or Shu from the MLA.
I've heard that name before. Who?
Or Shu from the MLA.
Shu.
SSHU.
Oh yeah.
Is that my pronouncing wrong? Is
Yep,
it Shu?
that's right. Shu.
Struggling to find time to play. Hi, Nathan and Curtis. I've really been struggling to find a good time to play the game a lot since this semester has started. I've been mostly swamped in school and work in the afternoon, and when I come home, I'm either too tired to play or not in the mood to. On weekends, I can only manage to play a 3 block per day, and total 6 games per week seems very mediocre. I feel as if this is also infecting my improvement, and I don't feel like I'm improving, but just maintaining my level of play. I value school at the moment, but also don't want to get significantly worse in the game. Tips. You can't have it all.
Yeah. Nathan, you're
can't
spot
have it
on. You
all.
can't have it all. So I've literally told people it's not the right time for you.
No.
I've told people sometimes you got to focus on what you need to focus on, and then come back when you have more time. League's not going anywhere. You know, we're not going anywhere. We're going to be still here doing the podcast, the Soul to the MLA,
Saying the same things.
saying the same stuff. So we're not going anywhere, man. If you need to take a break to focus on your studies, which is 100% what you should be doing, then that's okay.
That's right.
And you know, I tell people, you know, you gotta again accept where you're at, and you know what, you're probably not going to get better. Straight up, with what you're doing right now, you're not going to get better.
You're not going to.
But if you can like keep touch with the game, like if you can just keep your pulse on it and be like, oh, okay, I'm not getting better, I'm getting a little bit worse, but at least when I come back to it, at least I'm not starting from like zero.
That's right.
That would be great, you know, and just accept that. If I am going to talk about tips, though, if you do want to, say you had time or you feel like you really want to create time. I don't know if he's in school or he's in college, but like, at least for me, I've said this many times with university, there's always ways you can create more time, whether it be by removing those, the transition periods. Like those transition periods are massive, right? If you're, for example, the El Clasico is wake up, you've got your 8 hours, rather than instantly getting out of bed, I'm going to check my phone, sit here for 10, 15 minutes. Rather than, you finish your study, instead of kind of going to eat lunch and then doing your next thing, I'm going to sit on my phone here on this couch for 10 minutes. And like those add up. Like if you remove those and then you go boom, 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 you can sometimes free up an hour and a half.
Even efficiency in terms of activities like cooking or
You can speed up
shower or like, you know, you can go with intensity and get shit done.
If you really want to,
Yeah.
if you really want to,
You can do fast.
You can speed. You can actually like free up 1-2 hours a day at minimum.
Yeah.
Just by cutting the crap.
Yeah.
And even it reminds me of the thing with do you remember the CEO that wrote in?
Patrick.
And he was saying how he removed his Netflix time at the end of the day. He made that sacrifice. Like I just stopped watching a shitty series, at night, and I was able to fit in a 3 block. That's all it took for him. So,
Yeah. If you think about it, an hour and a half, 2 hours, that's a 3 block.
And we don't know how busy his schedule is, but that's my advice anyway.
Yeah. Most people should be able to find time.
Yes, potentially.
Potentially.
Again, generally. Again, he could be the exception. We don't know.
Yeah.
So have a think about it.
Next question here comes from Brent. The title of this email is Nathan's Mailbag. Literally written like that.
Don't encourage him, guys. Come on.
I love it, dude. People are loving it. See, look at this. Look at how he's written it.
Oh, God. Oh, damn it.
All right, Brent. This is sent from his iPhone.
Important information.
Hey, this is Brent or Stealthy writing in. My question is, do you think it's okay to play ranked games not at 100% intensity all the time? And sometimes have weeks to take it easy, but still play to mentally recover? Kind of like the gym, no one can always train 100% all year round. Otherwise, you are risking an injury. And he says, check out my lifts on Insta.
Oh, let's do it. Take a look after.
His Instagram is Brent Moves Weight.
Oh, I like that. That's sick. That's awesome. Shout out Brent Moves Weight.
Brent, that's awesome, dude.
IG.
That's good. We love moving weight as well.
What
What do you reckon?
do you think? Yeah,
This is an interesting one because I disagree, dude. I think we've got to be, causing injury in League of Legends compared to gym.
I think that you're never going to be 100% intensity
that's
all the time.
impossible.
That's just like a
Yeah.
fact.
Yes.
But you can try.
Yeah.
Like, we said this, I think, last week's episode, we said how you kind of were feeling like you were dropping off.
in the middle of the season.
It's like getting grindy, whatever it
Yeah.
might be. And like, I 100% have blocks where
It's like about remotivating yourself, like what we've been trying to do,
it's a
remotivate
skill set,
ourselves.
yeah. And that dominate your opponent mindset.
Yeah.
Like for me, sometimes I think I'm playing with intensity. You don't realize it, but you're not.
It's catching yourself and stuff.
Yeah, it takes time. So like, cut yourself some slack. You're not going to be at 110% 24/7, but it's like trying to be, you're trying to push yourself. And so trying to push yourself at that period of time, it might only be 80% of what you're capable of, and that's okay. But I don't believe in purposefully lowering your intensity just for recovery, because League isn't like it's not a physical task. It's a mental task, really. So as long as you're getting ample sleep and you're not playing, you're doing a 3-block, you're not playing grinding, 20 games in a row, you're fine. You're definitely fine. So, I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment. Like, have you ever heard of that? Someone like trying so hard that they like
They have to take a week off.
have to take a week off?
That shouldn't be a thing.
I've seen it happen, but I feel like that's a result of
Other things.
that's other things at play. That's them not having a healthy relationship with the game.
and having a proper process.
Like this entire time, I've never felt like this past few years, I've never felt burnt from League solo
I've never
queue.
been burnt out.
I haven't felt that at all.
Not even close.
Not
dude.
even close
I'm
as well.
so excited.
Like I'm the other
dude.
way around. I want to play more.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
trying my ass off.
Yeah.
So, and again, where we could be exceptions again. That's the
right.
thing. So it's hard for us to use
Because we
us as
just
an
have,
example.
because we just.
Well, it's our
really-
career as well, Nathan. So
That's
like
right
we
as
can't
well.
really use us in this one. But
Yeah.
but I would say that with the clients that have had that burnout, it's generally from poor relationship with the game, such that they have unnecessarily high expectations and they're stressed to fuck because of these bullshit like going on in
Their
their mind.
friends and
Well, their friends,
rank
yeah.
and
Or like they have a
content
time
creators
limit
and
saying,
they
I got to
suck.
get this rank by this
Yeah.
time, or if my friend gets this and I don't get that, I'm fucked, or whatever it might be. My friends are watching me every game and they critique more, and like they have all this other stuff. They're the people that really burn out. But you would burn out with anything like that. Imagine
That's
if someone was watching you at the gym every day, every exercise, everything. You're probably going to get burnt out because you're just getting criticized all the time, whether it's via yourself or by someone else. So. Something to think about. If you're getting burnt out, there might be a sign that there's something off there.
There might be some more
Something to uncover.
deep root issues
Yeah.
there. All right, last question here comes from Connor. Title of this email is Setting Myself Up for Failure. Dear Nathan and Curtis, it's Connor from the Mid Lane Academy.
Oh, nice.
I joined 4 months ago when I was stuck in Gold 3-4, and I've recently managed to climb all
There's another Connor.
the way to Plat 2. I've hit this rank several times over the last 8 years, but I've never been able to push into Plat 1 before. This is the first time I've been process orientated, and it really feels like I can break the peak this time if I stick to focusing on the learning. However, this is getting emotionally more and more difficult with every win I get. My friendship group has played the game since release, and by this point, they all have a very negative view of the game. They view solo queue as a toxic addiction that should be quit as soon as possible. One of them even contacted Riot Support to get his account permabanned so he would stop playing. When I started playing again this season, I tried to hide it from them, and 4 months later, I still haven't told them that I'm actually getting coaching now. When I managed to make it back to plat a couple of months ago, I shared the promotion, and the general sentiment was, great, now you can quit. As I'm actually starting to see progress, my motivation is changing. I'm starting to believe I can hit Diamond for the first time in 13 years. And with this belief comes a need to hit it. It's a need to prove everyone wrong, that I can actually get better, and solo queue isn't just a waste of my time. Even the sentiment among my friends has changed slightly. They're slightly less negative about me playing and seem more curious. They're waiting to see if I make it or if I will crash and burn. It's like an entertainment, it's like a movie. It's like, is he going to make it? He's kind of going to make it. Am I right? You know? I know this isn't healthy. If I actually want to keep climbing, then I just need to stick to my process and not focus on the LP. But I can't help it. I'm restless as I go about my day, waiting for the chance to play. I'm starting to slip in an extra game when I wake up or before I go to bed. These games are lower intensity, and I think they're not helping. I'm a very emotional person, and I can feel the emotion starting to take control. I don't know what to do about this. Would love to hear your thoughts or advice on how to not sabotage myself.
I'm going to approach this from a different angle,
Right,
Nathan.
here we go, Curtis. What's your angle?
He has a responsibility here.
Yeah.
He has to hit it.
Yep.
He has a responsibility from the league community. He has a responsibility within his friendship group, and he has a responsibility to himself.
It's not even about the league and like getting there. It's like you've got doubters, and then you put in lots of work, you achieve something difficult. Think about what that does to you psychologically. Don't even think about it just in terms of League of Legends. Like, well, what are you guys talking about? It's just a diamond. Who cares?
It's a skill.
It's a skill.
It's a skill. And you've put... This is the thing, Connor. It's not... I'm going to say this straight up. You will get it. Okay? You will get it no matter what. It's just when. It's not if, it's when. So my advice, man, is stop thinking about... like, because it's kind of like... I'm sure we've all had this when maybe we were younger, when a new gadget or something comes out, like a phone, like when we were kids, the iPod Touch came out, or the iPod Shuffle, or the iPhone, or whatever, and you're like, I need it now. I need it. No, I don't want to wait that amount of months. I need it now. Like we have this like thirst for like now. And especially when we get closer to something, like you're saving up money, I got to get it now. But at the end of the day, if you told yourself, okay, it's not going anywhere, I will get it, that hopefully should relieve some pressure. He doesn't need to get it in the next 3 weeks. He doesn't need to get it in the next 2 months. He's got a long time. He's got months and months and months to get it. We're in what? He's got another 4 or 5 months. You've got a long ass time, man. That's a long time. 4 months. So 16 weeks, right? So you got a long ass time. So relax. You will get it. You've got plenty of time. Chill out. You know what you got to do. Come to reviews every 3 weeks. Stick to the process. Cut the crappy one game out. You know what you got to do. It will come. And you will do it. And you're going to make yourself proud. You're going to set a standard for what's capable in your friendship group.
Yeah, you change your little bit of friends, and it's like, oh, interesting.
This guy actually can do some cool shit.
Real shit on this guy, and he props to him. He actually, the way that I viewed it in my head, it's
imagine how people view him differently.
Yeah,
he's gone out on a limb by himself, exposed himself in a way. Like he's vulnerable. He's in a vulnerable position right now.
Yeah,
he's open to criticism by everyone. He can fail. And everyone's like watching.
His friends are like pointing. It's like, look at this guy playing League of Legends all the time. Look how much fun we're having with our friends. We're going out. It's like, Connor sitting home playing League of Legends. What a loser.
And like this guy, man, when Connor gets it.
Dude, this is a Rocky motivational video we're going to make it, Connor.
And that imagine the self-confidence you're going to build off that, dude. long lasting in whatever you do outside of league. So, Connie, you're going to get it. You're doing the right thing. Just take your time. Take your time. Good things come with time.
I want to talk about those one gamers. They're such a waste of time, dude. Honestly, there's zero progress. Like I used to do those a lot. Like, and I like literally most of the time. I mean, yeah, I regret that one game.
No, you feel like an addict when you do those as well. By the way,
they're
very like
it's like I've got a little bit of time. Just
I gotta get that
and
win.
if I get that win,
and if you lose those,
I start with high LP to tomorrow. Yeah, then you regret.
But you lose those games, you feel so shit. It's not even worth it.
It's not.
You're just a gambler at that stage. You're literally. It's that's hardcore addiction. Back
to our the beginning of our episode this week about the dopamine from the process. You know, in celebrating the process over the win.
He's trying to get that quick dopamine hit.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's
Rather
just there's not a process. One game there.
Sabotage.
Yeah.
Self-sabotaging behavior.
All right, that's it for Mailbag today, everyone. Good work. Let's keep on improving on and off the Rift, and we'll see you next time.